Islanders Lightning, Mario. Game two happened last night. The Lightning won this one 4-2, and now the series is tied 1-1. And the series is going back to New York. That game three, is going to be on Thursday night at 8 p.m. on USA. So make sure you go check that out. But let's get to the stats, Mario. This was a relatively decent win by the Lightning, and I'll get to why I said it like that in just a second. Um, Nikita Kucherov had himself 3 assists, so he did a really good job with helping the puck into the net. Victor Hedman, Mario, Andre Palat, Braden Point, and John Ruda all had themselves goals. So they did a really good job on that front. Blake Coleman, Barclay Goodrow, Steven Stamkos, and David Savard all had themselves assists. And Andre Vasilevsky did a great job, like we expect out of him. He saved 24 out of 26 with a save percentage of 9.23. So that is what we expect out of Andre Vasilevsky. Now going to the Islanders, Mario, Matthew Barzal and Brock Nelson all had themselves one goal. And those are the only two goals that the Islanders had that game. And Jordan Everly and Nick Leddy all had themselves assists. And Island Sorokin actually came back in this game, Mario. It wasn't for long, but he saved all 6 shots that were made to him. And Varlamov, Mario, he saved 23 out of 27, which is a save percentage of 8.52. So not his best game. But it was, he was expected to have a bad game eventually. He was doing really good, and I'm not going to hold that against him. He's been doing a really good job. Now let me get to the box stats, okay, Mario? Because this is where I'm about to explain why it seemed a little bit decent on my end. So shots on goal, the Islanders had 26 and the Lightning at 33. Face-off percentage, Islanders at 52.9, which is basically 53%, and the Lightning had 47.1. Power plays, 1 out of 4 for the Islanders and 1 out of 5 for the Lightning. Penalty minutes, the Islanders had 33 and the Lightning had 21. So it was a lot of penalties in this game. Hits wise, the Islanders at 37, the Lightning at 32. Blocks, the Islanders at 16 and the Lightning at 8. And giveaways, both teams had 4 giveaways. And takeaways, the Islanders had 3 and the Lightning at 10. So let's talk about this, okay, Mario? I'm gonna be honest. This reminds me of the win that the Vegas Knights had against the Montreal Canadiens in Game 1. It's relatively sloppy. I'm going to be honest. And there are a couple of things to back that up. For one thing, too many penalty minutes. This is one thing that I complained about with them in the first series against the Panthers. They were stacking up on penalty minutes like crazy. I think there was one point where they had like almost 50 penalty minutes. Like, that's just unacceptable, And same thing with the Islanders. They had 33 penalty minutes. That's gonna kill you. You can't be doing that. And my problem is, if you're gonna get that many penalty minutes, damn, at least make your power plays. Both teams only made one of their 4 and 5 power plays respectively. That's another thing. That's another thing I had with both teams. Another thing with the Lightning, face-off percentage. You got to win that. I know you didn't lose it by that much, but it doesn't matter. Any face-off you win is crucial. That's just that. You know what I mean? Takeaways, they did a good job on that. Giveaways, they did a good job of keeping the pucks in, so that's really good. Both teams had that equally. Blocks wise, it was decent. It could be a little bit better. Hits wise, they were both aggressive. So other than that, Mario, other than those 3 things that I talked about, there's really not anything else bad I had about the Lightning. I also look at it. Most of the team got involved. I know Steven Stamkos did, Kucherov got involved, and Braden Point got involved, but we do expect that. So they did a good job on that. They got involved to some degree. But I look at the Islanders, Mario, and it's the exact opposite. Josh Bailey, where's he been? What's he been doing? He hasn't really been doing a lot. Anthony Beauvillier, what's he been doing? He hasn't really been doing a lot. So if I'm those 2 players, I'm getting involved more often. Because even in last game's win, which was a very solid win by them, I'll give them that. They weren't really involved that much. Same thing with Kyle Palmieri. Where's he been? Hasn't really been doing all that much. But, if I'm the Islanders, I'm getting those guys involved because those are my 3 best players. Well, on paper they are. But, yeah, Martin, not only that, but you got to make your power plays. You got to stay out of the penalty box. And again, 33 minutes in the penalty box, that's way too many minutes. That's just way too many minutes. Face-off percentages, they win in that, which is decent, 52.9%, which is pretty good. At the same time, you're not taking advantage of those opportunities, which is something that the Islanders need to start taking advantage of. You know what I mean? So overall, Mario, it was sloppy on both sides. I'll say that. Okay, that this win definitely reminded me of Game 1 of the Western Conference finals between the Canadiens and Vegas Knights. So it gave me a little bit of that vibe. So definitely a bit sloppy on both sides. But with that being said, they do have shots of fixing that. So I do wish them the best of luck. Again, Game 3 is on Thursday, 8 p.m. in New York. It's going to be on USA. So make sure you check that out if you wish to. And yeah, overall it was a decent win. I'll say that that's a little bit sloppy as well. So best of luck to both teams in Game 3.
New York, New York. Like you had the answer last game. It was right there for you. You had the solution and you used it. Then you go to this game and then you just let them do what they've been doing. I said this a million times. I'm gonna get to some factors in a bit. Stop this big three. I cannot say that how many times you need to stop this big three. Okay, and now I'm gonna be real with you. Now they got a big four adding Victor Hedman to it. Because in games where Stamkos didn't step up, Victor Hedman has been stepping up. So now you got to worry about that big four on the Lightning. Okay, I don't understand it, Nate. They did so well the first game, and in the second game, it looks like the Lightning just adjusted and did what they were supposed to do. But I agree with you, guys like Palmieri, Bailey. You know, they're not doing what they were supposed to do. You know, but guys like Barzal has really stepped up. Guys like Eberle have really been distributing the puck really well. So I got to give them credit there. Okay. As for the Lightning, they did a good job getting that big three involved. You know, now guys like Andre Palat are getting involved. Like obviously Braden Point has been on fire throughout the whole NHL playoffs. You know, but again, if one's going to be on fire, that's going to happen. But at least get the other guys. At least subtract the other guys from the equation. You know, Stamkos, Kucherov, Victor Hedman. At least get those guys away from the equation. You know, if all four of those guys are getting involved, you're not going to win this game. It's as simple as that. Kucherov's job this whole throughout the whole playoffs has not been scoring goals. His job has been distributing the puck, and he's been doing it extremely, extremely well. Kucherov. Okay, even Stamkos has been getting involved a little bit in the scoring columns as well. But when he's not getting involved, Victor Hedman's getting involved. You're just letting them do this. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, Varlamov didn't have his best game, and that was a key factor as well. I think personally, Nate, I think they're gonna go. I'm gonna make this prediction right now. I think they're gonna go with Sorokin next game. After this, I'm gonna be real, but again, I could be wrong. So we'll see what happens. But I think Sorokin might be the option that they're gonna go with for that one game. But I could be wrong. But look, the New York Islanders had the equation and stuff like, look, they had 16 blocks, which you could definitely take into the next game. You had a better faceoff percentage. And like you said, obviously there were too many penalties, and 33 penalty minutes is a lot. Same thing as 21 penalty minutes. That's a lot. But the Lightning are just lucky that the Islanders had more penalty minutes. That's all I'm going to say right there. Power plays, both of them didn't do a great job, you know. But one thing I will say, the Lightning had 10 takeaways opposed to the 3. That definitely helps you because it gives you more puck possession when you get those takeaways. The Lightning outshot 17-10, but in the first period. But regardless of that, it was 1 goal each, and then they just took advantage in the third period. They scored 2 goals compared to the Islanders 1, and the second period it was 1-1. So when you're ready to look at it, Nate, I think the big key to this right here was when the Lightning found a way to get those guys involved. That big 3 now turning into that big 4 with Hedman. They found a way to get those guys involved. And then other guys like Andre Palat really did get involved and contribute as well, you know? And the Islanders, Barzal this series has been doing a great job. Eberle has been doing a good job as well. And even Letty, he's been doing a good job as well too, you know? So I hope that they can still contribute. But the other guys like Josh Bailey, who were doing good last series, guys like Palmieri, who were doing decent last, they need to get back in there. You know, they need to get that back in there, and they need to do what they need to do to win this series. It's as simple as that. The Islanders are a good defensive team. You got to play better defensively. It's as simple as that. You got to stop that big 4 from scoring because they've been absolutely unbelievable. Force the puck in others' possessions. Even if Braden Point does good one game and Stamkos does good the other, and Kucherov, if you stop the other factors of that big 4, you can definitely beat them. If only one's contribute, but you have to stop all of them. You know, you got to stop most of them at least. It's as simple as that. Because if not, they're just going to keep attacking it. Okay, every single game I think I've seen this season or this postseason, besides the game 1 with the Islanders, that big 3 with Stamkos, Kucherov, and Point have been getting involved. I don't know how many times I've said it on here. Stop them. It's hard. I get that, but that should be your main concern right there, is stopping that team. And it hasn't been. It hasn't been that main concern for them. And also, too, when you look at it, if you go to like the amount of shots that they had, Nate, on the Lightning, you go to Victor Hedman, he had 2 shots. You go to Nikita Kucherov, he had 2 shots. Stamkos had 2 shots, and then you go to Brayden Point, he had 2 shots as well. Like, again, it's just they're distributing the puck very well to Tampa Bay Lightning. But at the end of the day, despite the distribution, that big four is still getting involved. That's the one thing that they need to do, is stop that big four and play good enough defense to stop him. It's as simple as that. Other than that, you need to get the puck in your possession. Again, you need to stop giving 10 takeaways opposed to 3. That's not going to cut it. You need to capitalize on your power plays. 1 for 4 or 1 for 5 is not going to cut it for both teams. And overall, you are right, Nate. This wasn't the best game by neither one of these teams. But you know what? Heading into game 3, that's going into New York. We'll see how that turns out. Again, New York Islanders have that in their favor, that they're going to be on home ice, and we'll see what happens. But overall, Nate, I think the Lightning getting this whole big 3, big 4 involved, I think they've really been helping them. And I think unless the Islanders are going to do what they did in game 1, then they better find out a different game plan to use. The only game plan I can see them winning with is stopping that big 4. It's as simple as that, and doing what you did in game 1 and applying that to game 3. But regardless, Nate, with that being said, I wish both teams the best of luck heading to New York for game 3, and we'll see what happens.